Happy Wednesday. I'm going to start taking a different approach to the diet structure, and the reason why is because I'm chasing that sustainable lifestyle and I'm having problems finding it. I'm going to be honest with you. In the past, I've had a lot of success, but it's been because of radical approaches that I have not been able to stick with long term. So I'm pretty much refusing to play the game that I've played in the past, which is, going with these radical approaches, getting all this success and cutting all this weight, and then just put it all back on again, because I can't live that way, forever. So what I'm looking at now is, just structuring things like how I did back in 2012 and 2013, which is I'm gonna have small portions. Basically what I'm doing is I'm going to take advantage of the thermogenic effect of food. I'm going to eat more often, and I'm going to eat the right things more often throughout the day. And in doing that, I will be able to save my calories for later on in the day, which is when it seems that I start to get more like hungry through the, at the end of the day. I'm glad, don't get me wrong, if you've been watching the videos, I'm glad that I've had an opportunity to have some inactive days where I could kind of learn where I could eat at as far as TDE is concerned, and still cut weight. But the thing about it is that my hunger has gone up immensely since I've been back to lifting. And I changed my workouts. I made some adjustments to some of my compound lifts. So my body is in this like state of flux right now, and hunger is just at an all-time high. Well, the way I look at it is, to curb that hunger, I have strategic fruits that I've always, taken advantage of. And with those, eating those strategic fruits throughout the day will save me a lot of calories. Like, for instance, one of the strategies that I used back before now, I didn't eat a lot of carbs around this time. I'm gonna be eating more carbs now, but one of the things that I did back in 2012 and 2013 was a form of the apple diet where I was eating eggs too, but I would only eat apples, 150 grams of apples during my eating window, as many hours as I could up until when I wanted to start eating actual food, like regular food, sandwiches and meals and things like that. But I would eat these strategic fruits throughout the day, and I'd, portion them, cut them up, portion them, have them ready to go. So there was never any kind of like, oh, well, I don't know if I could do this, or the stuff's not ready. It was always ready. It was always, packaged, ready to go, out the door, took that stuff. I didn't have to worry about being hungry throughout the day. And I'd exhaust that, that stuff that I had packed, and then I will move on to the, to the next thing. So looking back at that, 150 grams of apples, what do I do? Man, you gonna drive, man? Come on. Looking at what, well, hold on, let me get my mind right. I don't do skin, I skin my apples. So skinned apples, just the meat of the apple, the inside of the apple, 150 grams is about 72 calories. So, I mean, and it keeps you pretty full because apples have a lot of carbohydrate and sugar in them. So they have pyruvate in them, which helps you burn more fat. It actually takes more energy to burn an apple digesting it than the calories that you take in eating it. So it's 72 calories for 150 grams. So if you eat that for 5-6 hours, you can see how, there's an advantage there, because, you're curbing your hunger, but yet at the same time you're taking in very few calories. You know, I eat 2,400 calories per day. So if I can, you know, eat those strategic fruits throughout the day and then save all my calories for later on the day, I can eat, you know, big meals, great meals when I'm, you know, excessively hungry in the late afternoon, evening time, and still hit my calories. And that's really what it's all about, is keeping your hunger down, but at the same time, you know, having those calories available when you are super duper, you know, like out of control hungry. Plus, I mean, in a way, it gives me an opportunity to fast without fasting. So, I mean, you know, I'm gonna start like getting more, you know, deeply involved in the whole, like, you know, weighing myself, talking more about like exactly what I'm doing throughout the day as far as like food and things are concerned, because I think that's the direction that I need to go to get, you know, the information out there in a more concise and more like one-on-one way. So we'll see, but I am gonna make those changes. You know, don't get me wrong, I like the diet structure that I've been doing, but it's just, you know, it's not sustainable. You know, 2,400 calories and under, you know, and 75 grams of carbs for like regular foods outside of my phytonutrients. That is a very small amount of food for someone that trains as often as I do. You know, it's not very much food. So, you know, you have to be very, very intelligent with the way that you approach, you know, fat loss. You know, when you're an endomorph and you have the body type and you train as much as I do. If I was inactive, it'd be one thing, but I'm not inactive, so that's just the way that it is. So I'm gonna continue with this strategy. I'm hoping that it will render me the results that I'm looking for. You know, I'll test it for the next 7 to 10 days, and I'll keep everyone posted. Happy Wednesday.